Hi, I'm Andi Lew, and you are watching Well to Do. It's the podcast where you get to learn everything that you need to know to be more well. And one of those things is actually helping you to harmonize with quantum energy your life, home, space, and environment. We're talking about Leela Quantum, and I'm wearing the necklace, which is absolutely divine. It's not about blocking EMFs, or EMF stands for electromagnetic fields. It's about harmonizing and neutralizing. Now, the Leela Quantum also has this block, and as you can see, we are harmonizing and neutralizing and energizing, supercharging our water. You can put anything in there from hair care to makeup to supplements and food as well. I might even try and put my hands in there because our bodies are made up of water, so we can charge ourselves. Don't just take it from me. Leela Quantum has a lot of research on their website, so check it out. And speaking of hair care and things like that, I have a really dear friend, Tara, who's on the show today.
Hi,
welcome.
Andi. Thank you so much.
Are the busiest and probably the most experienced hairdresser in the South Bay in LA.
I have been doing it a long time.
Yes, you have. And, you know, I've been one of your clients, but moreover, you've been one of mine as a wellness coaching client.
Yes.
We started this relationship and I had this idea for the very first time ever. We are now doing a live wellness coaching session on Well to Do, the podcast.
I love it.
And what I love is that you've decided to be so open and generous with the experience.
100%. It's like if yes, I want to do this for myself, but I would also love to help other people along the way as well.
Like I always say, if you know a good thing, why not share it? It's so selfish.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think that's why you're actually getting so much from just being in each other's space for really an introductory session. We haven't really dive deep into this yet. That's all, folks.
True.
But I mean, and this is why I guess I'm fumbling for words, because I cannot believe that you've experienced with my training such profound results. And I was like, right, let's get you in, because everybody keeps asking, what does even a wellness coach do?
Right.
However, this isn't just my certification, which is the official title, Food, Lifestyle and Wellness Coach. I guess I've kind of merged in the Andi Lew vibes as well, which is a very holistic approach, but very trained to understand and listen to what you're telling me and then give you questions back.
I love it.
That help you to realize what your inner dialogue is, because as cliche as it sounds, you know the answers.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but I'm going to hold you accountable.
Great.
Let you know that in this process, it's also a very safe space.
Yes.
However, this is now out there in the big wide world.
Absolutely.
And the people that are watching are going to be completely supportive of this. I always say the haters are the ones who are watching and observing a spacer and a person that's behaving in a way that they wish they could, that they had the courage that they could. So I hope that inspires them, as you say, with that intention moving forward. Anyone who does come and see me, basically, it's completely private. We do not put your experience on it unless you want to.
Yes, exactly.
And then that's double the price.
Right.
All right. So before we began, we had an introductory sort of, I guess, discovery session. And in that time, you decided upon yourself to take action into what?
Yeah. Just, it's time that I need to really focus on myself again. It's been, a few years I focus on everything else and everyone else. And the key here is if you're not taking care of yourself, how does everything else function properly around you? So I had to get back into that mindset, and you have helped me along the way. And I always say, you really need to surround yourself with people that do inspire you, that, think similarly to you, because you helped me get back on track to the way that I thought I've always, thought about things, or, but I just got lost along the way.
Well, let's pinpoint exactly some of those things that help you feel like you were back on track. You decided to book yourself in straight away to?
We did our session when we went to the gym. We started doing all of that stuff as well.
Right. So you decided you wanted to move more. And straight away, you had a trial session at the gym. So you started moving your body more.
Yes.
Then you booked yourself in to see a chiropractor who practices zone technique.
Absolutely. a few years back, I was going to a chiropractor weekly because of my work, and it helped so much. And then I started doing it again. Just everything in my body hurt, and I was like, thought I was doing the right things, and started seeing Dr. Frank again, and he was amazing. It's like I have been able to function the last couple weeks differently than I have been previously, and it just, I mean, I noticed such a change right away. It was from day one.
Wow. So just after one chiropractic session, your whole life changed with less pain, basically.
Yes.
And you found that that was the modality that you wanted to explore. So that worked for you, which was quite empowering because you made the choice for yourself and you did it. Yeah. So tick. And then started feeling great, which that, I guess, from the gym session transpired into doing yoga now. So now you're doing yoga.
Yes. That was always, like, hot yoga has always just been the thing I absolutely love. It's, you know, in the heat, I can do so much more exercise-wise. And then also, you know, the heat really relaxes my muscles, and then the stretching and all of that, it just helps everything on the daily basis when I'm on my feet all day.
Right.
And it's such a huge part of my life that I'm so grateful to be able to start doing it again.
So, you know, even being sedentary is the new epidemic. So anyone who's not on their feet and just sitting down, it's so important to move. Basically, I say you have to move. There's no negotiation on that. So now let's start this journey, because I've looked at your initial questionnaire. So we gave you a wellbeing questionnaire, and then there are some boxes that you can tick from 1 to 10. And when you tick those boxes in different areas of your life, that shows me your readiness for change. So a person's only going to be inspired to do something if they're ready to do it. Yeah. And the areas that stood out for me, if I may share,
Yes,
was
please.
actually, it's quite interesting because I thought there were going to be other areas, but you said just health in general. So perhaps your injuries, like you had an arm injury and a back injury. So that's a 10.
Yes.
You're ready for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Work-life balance, which was a big one. You were talking about how you just
Yes.
wanted time for yourself as well. And even your weight, you wanted to focus on that. That was a 10.
Yep. You know, and when it comes to that, it's just, you know, I want to feel strong again, because I had to stop, you know, moving per se as in working out because of those injuries that I had. I'm on my feet all day. I'm moving all day, but it's a different type of movement. You know, my body is a different type of sore. So I want to be in the best shape that I could possibly be for optimal health.
Well, let's face it, everyone likes to look sexy and hot and vibrant and vitalistic. And, you know, you're kind of lying to yourself if you don't want to. Because
100%.
it's not just about, you know, aesthetics. It's about the vitality and the energy that you get from it as well.
Oh, yes, that is huge.
So let's then now take you to a place. Close your eyes for me. Okay. And I want you to visualize when was the last time where you felt your most well self. Like it was, tell me what that looked like. What were you doing? Where were you living?
Yep. So it was actually summer of 2021. And I'm like, keep my eyes closed because I could really visualize it.
Please do.
It was summer of 2021, and I actually started working out with a friend of mine who was a trainer. So going to do that and being held accountable every single day for, my gosh, a couple months, but it started right away. It was that first month. Really started to align everything where it was like my nutrition, my self-care, my health, and I was just becoming stronger every single session. I felt absolutely amazing. I felt like I looked my best in forever. I do have 2 kids, so you know how that can take a toll on a woman's body. And previously to that, I lost 40 pounds of baby weight. So it was like I really needed to focus on that strength. And by the end of that summer, I was like at my prime, I felt like.
What else was going on for you in your life at that time?
Oh, Andi, you like to ask all the personal questions, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
This is how we find out what we're really meant to be doing.
So I actually went through, or I just finished a divorce that took 5 years. And during that time, I was really at the beginning of that divorce and really trying to find my way, find myself again, trying to figure out how to take care of 2 small children myself too. Just everything was so new. And I was in that mindset at the time where I had to take care of myself, because if mom goes down, everyone goes down. And there wasn't help from dad, in that situation. So I was solely responsible, and still am, for my 2 children and myself. So I need to be my best.
Right. And when you were feeling your best self in 2021, what else was happening? Where were you? What did it look like? What did it feel like? What were you wearing, doing?
Oh my goodness. I mean, just everything. It was, for me, having even a social life is really important with that work-life balance.
Okay.
So there was, I had my friends around me. My family was around me. I was able to, work and be at my optimal self as well too. And just like when you're like, what were you wearing? What were you doing?
Yeah.
Going to the beach. I felt like myself again, and just comfortable in my skin all around.
So what you're saying is that you needed to keep it together, which is why it fell away when you were feeling great.
Yeah.
So that's what got in the way. Yeah. Now I understand that's no longer in the way, and the training wheels are off, so things are good. But the things that make you feel most well, Tara, and what you're sharing with me is that you're spending time in nature with the beach. That's making you feel very well, potentially earthing. We know that when we put our feet in the ground, the soil, the sea, the sand, that the red blood cells disperse, and it helps us with boosting immunity and all of those things. Right. So removing inflammation in that way by being connected to nature is going to help you feel better. The other thing is that you were describing the social life, which was what was making you feel more well. So then the final thing was, you remember, just being more active and training.
100%, yes.
Those are the 3 top things. Yeah. So now let's close your eyes again. Okay. Wave a magic wand. This is, everything can happen. This is a magic wand scenario. Tell me what your most ideal well world looks like.
Oh, wow.
Creating it.
I know. I mean, do you want it to be like a day by day, or like
just anything you want to share?
I mean, my ideal would be able to get up early, but before that I need to be going to bed at a good time.
Okay.
I would love to be able to work out daily, get my kids to school, go to work, do all the things. And then
now from an NLP perspective, neuro-linguistic programming, I want you to say, I am going to go to, I go to bed early, not like I want to go to bed early. So let's talk about it in the now. I'm going to bed early. And what else is happening?
I am going to bed early, which is allowing me to get up at a good time, to be able to work out in the morning before I get my kids off to school, start the day off on the right foot, get to work, feel just my best self, and then have time to potentially see a friend, see family, whichever that is, have energy for my children at night when I come home for work, and I am going to bed at a decent
I go
time.
to bed.
I
go to bed at a decent time.
Yes.
So you're telling me in the now, and we're actualizing that.
Yes.
We're allowing the cells to listen and to have that happen. So now this is your new practice. You're saying it, you're affirming it.
I love it.
Another interesting thing is that you want to exercise in the morning.
Yeah.
So this is actually going to help with any kind of weight loss or muscle gain. And that's because when we wake up, we do have what we perceive a negative hormone, which is adrenaline. And that's when the light comes in, we get a surge of adrenaline that is good for us. It makes us bound out of bed. So sometimes adrenaline is actually a good thing.
Interesting.
And you may find that when you're releasing that hormone, the cortisol, the adrenaline release healthily by moving your body in the morning, that your hormones may balance out, among other things that we need to do. So I want you to go, great, my new life is that. Now, I'm going to get you, when we're finished the session, we would normally do it here, we would write this down, and we can look back on this and we can have you write it down. But most people make notes in their phone. There's something with what I call light scribbling, or from source, light drawing, that when you're writing things down and you're scribbling it as you're thinking about it, when you go back to look at it, it actually takes you to the place when you were thinking about it.
Interesting.
Instead of just typing it out, then reading it as these are my instructions.
Right.
So now I want you to say a statement, which is what we're going to write down. I, Tara, am an active blah, blah, blah. And, I go to bed early. Tell me all the things that you just created.
I, Tara, am going to go to bed early.
No, I go to bed early.
I go to bed early.
This is the woman you are.
I go to bed early.
Yes.
I wake up and start my day with a morning exercise, healthy breakfast, and a positive outlook on the day to start my children's and my day off on the right foot.
Wonderful. Yes, you do. And now this is going to be the part that's really beautiful about this journey. And this is your why. This is your higher purpose that's greater than you. This is why we do anything, because in this journey of committing to this, it's going to get hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yes.
But when you have your why, this is going to remind you why you began. So now I want you to close your eyes and think about, what is your higher purpose? Why are we here? What is it that you're really supposed to be doing? And why is it that you want to be doing these things with and for the children and for yourself, et cetera, et cetera? What's your bigger reason?
Honestly,
Yes, always.
I feel like I truly want to inspire people, not just my children, in all areas of my life.
Okay.
So if I'm going to be doing that, I have to be at my best self, because nobody is going to take advice from somebody that
Wow.
yeah, right?
Oh my gosh, I just got goosebumps.
Yes.
Okay, so now I want you to say, so that I can be, and then finish it off.
So that I can be inspiring not only for myself, but for others.
Because they
need, how do I word this?
Yeah.
They need inspiration and to be able to see it in front of them before they start it themselves.
Yes, an example, a role model is what you're saying.
There we go. That's
So when we watch this back, I want you to write all this down and you're going to frame it. You can like color it in, you could use colors, whatever it is that you want to do. But this is your mission statement.
I love it.
All right. So this is what we're going to work with. Now we're going to set just 3 or 4 tangible goals that are going to propel you into the act of these things that we've just created for your life. What are 3 things that you could do this week that can put you in this state?
Oh, let's see. Again, putting me on the spot here. So, I think the first thing is preparing to going to bed earlier is so hard for me. So that's my main thing right there. I feel like that's going to set so much up for me.
Hello, I might do this with you.
Oh, it's so hard when you have children.
Yes,
and
I know
crazy
this.
schedule. But if I can prepare for the day prior to going to bed and just getting in bed, so then I can reset, my internal clock.
So what time are you going to go to bed, and how many times a week are you going to do this?
I'm going to go to bed at 10 p.m. And for
Right.
some of you you might think that's late, but that's early
Okay.
by the time we get home and have our whole
Thank
day.
you for your honesty.
Yeah, absolutely.
No shame.
So 10 p.m. and I forget what that next part
How
of
many times a week are you going to commit to that?
at least 5. I would
Okay.
love to do it every day, but I need to be realistic, right? If I can at least do that Monday through Friday, that's my goal. Usually I'm in bed by 11:30.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's midnight.
So the hours that we get before midnight are equivalent to having 2 hours. The quality
I
of
have
sleep.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's better for you to get up earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your next goal?
So my next goal would be, as I develop that routine, and I feel like the thing is becoming more awake in the morning. That's the hardest part for me. Sometimes I feel more awake at night, and that's where I need to shift that. So to get up and find that routine of, even if it's a 15-minute workout in the morning, if that's all I have time for, and then progress and, do a little bit more every day.
I love that. How many times a week are we doing the exercise for 15 minutes?
Again, being realistic. I would love to do it 5 days a week.
Okay.
But I'm going to shoot for 3 to
Love
start
that.
with. And then as I progress, it becomes a routine. and then it flows.
I love that for you because what we do and how this builds, because it's a snowball effect. Wellness coaching works in that when you set realistic goals, if you were to say 5 and then you came back to me next week and it was only 3, you're going to feel terrible about yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
But if we say 3, guarantee you're going to probably do 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
Or just 3
Overachiever.
and you'll feel great, right? Yes. All right. Now, keep in mind some of the other goals that you said you were really ready to go for. It was the work-life balance,
Right,
as well. So is there another goal here that you want to put into practice there?
The work-life balance, that's always been a struggle for me. Lately, it's more of a struggle because of our new circumstances. But I think, it's getting better, and it's just a new phase in our life, so that is a huge part of just my life in general. Always has. I need this balancing act. I'm a Libra, whether you know what that means or not, but I need that balance in my life.
What are we going to do?
So
what are we going to commit to?
That one is such a hard one.
No, it's the first thing that comes to your mind.
I know.
Say it.
Just that work-life balance, to get home from work at a reasonable time. Because I'm trying to really set those boundaries with clients, with myself.
Because I'm setting boundaries.
I am setting boundaries.
Not because I'm trying. You set boundaries.
Yeah. See,
okay.
There you go.
So there's a goal then for you.
100%.
So maybe the work-life balance and all the other things that you've been wanting to achieve haven't occurred because you haven't set boundaries.
True.
All right. So should we make this a goal?
Yeah.
What are the boundaries you're going to set?
I am not going to be working on everyone else's schedule. I do.
So then change the language to I work on my schedule.
I work on my schedule.
Yes.
And
so let's just say I set boundaries in place of people needing to fit in with my schedule.
I set boundaries with people needing to fit within my schedule.
Yes. How does that feel?
Amazing.
Okay. Cool. You've just affirmed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel it.
What does that schedule look like and what are you doing with the extra time?
Preparing for my next day so I can get to bed by 10 p.m.
Fantastic. And is that the only self-care time, or are you going to do something in that time?
I feel like during that time, because it is really busy during the week, I feel like that is probably the start right there,
right?
Because I'm taking care of 2 others as well. And I have my self-care routine at night where I take care of myself externally, internally, which is part of my routine going to bed. It's not just, hey, I'm going to hop into bed. I make sure I'm taking care of myself in that way. So that I feel like I already have.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what you're expressing is that, close your eyes here for a minute. You're expressing that setting boundaries in your life and visualizing people rushing to your door in the time that you set for yourself, in the time that you need them to come to you, feels good on a well-being level. That in itself is what makes you feel well, right?
Yeah.
You're saying it's not necessary I'm going to go shopping or I'm going to do something. You're saying just the act of being respected with boundary setting is what makes me feel well.
Yeah, and I think you have nailed it.
So, babe, this actually turns into a bit of a balancing of hormones, this is where real well-being. Now, this is why I can't just write a diet for you or tell you to do this. This is where you've claimed, this is what makes me feel well, Andi. This is what I need to do. So I want you to marinate a little bit more on that. Okay. That's 3 goals. Let's just throw in a 4th goal for the fun of it. Just tell me something else. Keep in mind it was, what did we have? We had weight, we had work-life balance, and we had the health with the pain with the arm and the spine. Did we want to
neck too, unfortunately.
Okay, do we want to do anything with the health? Do we want to further commit to chiropractic, or what is it?
Oh, 100%. The chiropractic has been working so much for me. I mean, that's helped even my sleep at night. It's helped the pain in my body. If I was just sitting here 2 weeks ago, it'd be really hard to not focus on the pain in my neck that I would have that would shoot down my spine into my hips. I have no pain right now, and I saw him almost a week ago.
Yes.
So
So it's lasting.
It is lasting. And I could feel those little things creeping on. And then it's like, knock, knock, Dr. Frank, time to see you.
Okay, so, there are adjuncts that you can do that help the nervous system to, support and stay in that new posture pattern that he's creating for you and that your body is doing. That's really just the catalyst for it. We can talk more about that. And I just want our audience to know that we're doing this power 25-minute thing. We normally do take an hour, and I love to go overtime in the first session. But this is just giving everybody a taste of what you can create. The last thing that we would normally do, and there are other things, but I'll leave it to your imagination how that might go, is that we need to create a support system to make this feel accountable. What is it? And it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a ritual, a thing, whatever. What is it that you will feel supported in adhering to these 4 goals that we've created?
That is a hard one, because I do feel like a lot of times it is just me, right? And granted, I have so many amazing people around me.
Yes.
That is a hard one. I have to think on that.
So close your eyes now and think about what helps you to feel supported emotionally and feeling held, feeling safe, feeling empowered. What helps you? What's going on around you when you're feeling like you've got this, and how did that feel?
So truthfully, the first thing that came to mind was the friends that I have created that are like my family.
Okay.
They were a huge support system throughout the last 5 years. And I feel like a lot of them are on a very similar path that I am, in their own way, right?
So your support system is going to be bringing the friends into the equation. So maybe they're going to do the 15-minute exercise thing with you. If people want to catch up with Andi Lew, they got to actually go to the farmer's market with me or go for a walk or a gym, right? So this is a way where you can get creative to bring those friends into that world you're saying.
Yeah.
What's another thing that can help you feel supported?
I mean, it's hard because my children are small.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
So, this even just came to me too, where it would be hard to, what I would think would normally be hard, to get that exercise in, because it's mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey,
and
come and do the exercise with me, right? But getting them to do it with me.
Right.
Yeah. If they, feel called to it, instead of being like, this is mom's time, that's it, involving them to do it.
So
that probably will be easier.
This wellness program is easy for you because you designed it based on what you know you need, and your children, you innately know, want to be involved with mum. Because remember you said, and now I'm getting goosebumps, because you wanted to be the example.
100%.
The people that are actually being the most affected are your children.
This is true.
Not just the world. It's, this monkey see, monkey do. You are their role model mama.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
So great. The way you're going to create support is involving them, right?
Yep.
And that's just going to be so beautiful. This is why it's so important in my work to not put words in your mouth and to really listen and let you just say what innately comes to you. Because when I was listening, I was really holding back on, it could be a song, it could be a candle. And I'm like, no, Andi, you're not trained that way.
No, you really pulled it out of me. I had to really sit there and think, because I haven't had anyone ask me these questions in a really long time, if ever.
It's in the quality of questions that our quality of life begins. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for giving us an example and showing us exactly what it feels like to be wellness coached. I definitely held your hand without holding your hand throughout the journey. And I'll continue to do so as we go through this 6-week program is what we begin with. And I can't wait to see all of the changes and all of the energy, and you're living your most well life.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Everybody's definition of that is so different, but seeing the excitement in you is all begun, it's fantastic. So thank you so much for joining us on this very different episode of Well to Do, so that you can experience what wellness coaching looks like. I'm a certified food, lifestyle and wellness coach, being trained by Global Wellness Australia, and putting in a little bit of my intuitive love into the session as well. If you'd like to join me, go to my website, andilew.com, ANDILEW.com, or go and feel fantastic and get your hair done with Tara. Thank you so much. Give your salon a little plug for us.
Yes, it's Haute LA Salon in Hermosa Beach, and we use all non-toxic products, and our main products are from Aveda.
You do. That's really important for our listeners who love learning how to be more well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.